Welcome to the College Football Bros. I'm Michael Newman.
I'm Ryan Newman.
And I'm Trey Newman.
Well, this move came from pretty much nowhere. We all thought that Jim Leonhard was set to be the next head coach at Wisconsin. That's what the reporting was. But Cincinnati head coach Luke Fickell is going to be their next head coach. Signed a 7-year deal with an average annual salary of $7.9 million. How surprised were you by this move, Trey?
I was surprised, not that he ended up being kind of taking the job, but it was just like it seemed like a foregone conclusion a few weeks ago that Jim Leonhard was going to be the guy. But it was kind of odd that they never kind of came out and said like he was. And so then it kind of made you start to think like, okay, they might at least be looking around. It's obviously a great hire. You get a proven winner, obviously from what he did at Cincinnati. He seems to fit the Wisconsin culture, but I feel like he's also going to bring in a little bit more excitement, a little more recruiting tenacity. And after last year, when he supposedly turned down Notre Dame, you thought, okay, maybe he's only holding out for the Ohio State job. But some of that obviously might have been just the fact that Cincinnati was in the playoff, and that just kind of delayed everything. So he didn't want to take another job at that time. So the timing wasn't right. And then
I think the timing just didn't work there. Like, I don't think he was offered the Notre Dame job. I think it just kind of Notre Dame. They liked Marcus Freeman, and they saw Fickell's not going to be available anytime soon. I guess we're going
to jump.
It seemed like that's what happened, at least.
But then the last thing I'll say is just you watch this year, and after what they did last year going to the playoff, you kind of got the sense that maybe Fickell, realized that he elevated Cincinnati to about as good as he could. And now he gets a great job at Wisconsin in a better conference. He wanted the challenge. It just seems like it could be a perfect fit.
Yeah, this is an A-plus hire to me. I mean, Luke Fickell has just about everything you could look for in a head coach. He clearly built a great culture at Cincinnati. He elevated the recruiting big time, like you said. That is the exciting thing for Wisconsin is they've had this culture of development and everything, which has been great, and they've at times improved the recruiting. But I think Fickell can possibly take that to another level. And Fickell, he has the development piece too. He put a lot of guys into the NFL, a lot of 3-stars into the NFL at Cincinnati, because of course you're not able to get some of the 4-stars like he will at Wisconsin. He did a pretty good job of hiring coordinators. Obviously, Marcus Freeman, we already brought up, was his defensive coordinator, and he's gone on to do great things. Mike Denbrock, the offensive coordinator, got hired at LSU. So he has experience in the Big Ten, right? He coached at Ohio State. So what's not to like? I mean, if I'm a Wisconsin fan, let us know in the comments below. Is there anyone that is not over the moon about this hire? I can't imagine.
I think the Wisconsin players are not over the moon.
Yeah,
they like Jim Leonhard.
Yeah. Okay. So does that concern you at all? That I guess there were some concerns on Wisconsin Twitter that the players were behind Jim Leonhard, or maybe even worried that some fans are worried that Luke Fickell might just leave for the Ohio State job someday. What do you think about that?
I mean, that part is maybe a little bit of a concern. I think if Ohio State does come calling one day, I don't see how he could just turn Ohio State down. I mean, he could do really, really well at Wisconsin, but boy, that would be a hard no to pass up the Ohio State Buckeye job. But I don't think that can be in their in a factor for Wisconsin. Like, so what if he goes to Ohio State one day? That means he killed it at Wisconsin.
Exactly.
So what? Like, big deal. So. But the play and then the players thing, getting back to that, how they were seems a little unhappy. I don't know. It's not necessarily about Luke Fickell. It's just about it not being Jim Leonhard. So they'll get over it, and I'm sure Luke Fickell will gain their trust and whatnot. It's not his fault that he's the new head coach, but I think they're more maybe upset with how it all went down, and maybe they felt like they were in the dark a little too much about it all. So, like everybody else, they were caught off guard.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, any more thoughts about the hire? Ryan, I assume you didn't quite give all of your thoughts on Fickell, but do you agree?
It's the A+ hire. Because, I mean, like, let's say Ryan Day struggled at Ohio State a little bit in the last couple of years. Who do you think Ohio State would have tried to hire? It would have been Fickell. Yeah. Like, the top job in the nation, arguably, would have gone after Fickell had they needed to. So you're getting just the absolute best of a coach. Everybody would have wanted him at any position. Any blue blood wanted him if they struggled. So for Wisconsin to get him is impressive. I mean, I can't imagine not being super, super excited about it if I'm a Wisconsin fan.
I'm a USC fan, and during our search last year, I was definitely at the point where Luke Fickell seemed like the top guy, and I would have been happy had USC hired him. And we're all Nebraska fans. We, of course, were going through a coaching search at the same time as Wisconsin. Luke Fickell, I think, to us was, as far as semi-reasonable or realistic hires, he would have been our top choice. Luke Fickell would have been an amazing hire for Nebraska. So, yeah, I mean, we like the hire of Rule, but yeah, Wisconsin fans that are watching this, I'm sure, we are jealous. We are jealous that you guys pulled off getting Luke Fickell. Yeah, definitely one-upped the Huskers. So
doesn't mean it's going to pan out better for you, but at least right now,
my money would be on Wisconsin right now. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. That'll do it for this episode of the College Football Bros. Let us know again in the comments below what you think of the hire, and subscribe to the channel if you like college football, and we will see you next time.
You've been watching the College Football Bros. Be sure to subscribe here on YouTube and in your podcast app for college football content all year round. For bonus episodes and access to our Discord chat, join our Patreon at patreon.com/collegefootballbros. Thanks for watching.